Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're going to be going over the basic connectors and connections and adapters that you may run into in your audio career. So there's two basic worlds. There's analog and there's digital. Actually, those are the only two worlds. Everything is either analog or digital. And the first thing that you're going to run into are one of these. This is a USB cable, right? This part, oh, you can see now, this part goes into your PC, and this plugs into your device. So we have a device here, right? And it just plugs in like so, right? And that is basically how you would connect any sound card. Really, it comes in a number of combinations, but this is basically the cable that you'll run into. There's another cable that you'll run into, and it is Firewire. And this is Firewire. It's double-ended. Oops, fun times. Looks a little bit different. They don't use these that often anymore, but they have a different kind of connector. So the difference between Firewire and USB is USB sends the data in packets, just like buckets of water. Think if you're in a boat, you're just kind of emptying buckets of water. Your boat's going down. It sends audio and data over buckets of water, like with buckets of water. And what Firewire does is Firewire just a steady stream, like a fire hose. So, you know, this is two different worlds. So you get more dropouts with this. Dropouts are bad. But with USB, you get underruns. So it's kind of whatever. They don't really use these anymore. Try to find a modern motherboard that has Firewire. You have to buy an adapter, and it sucks. So Firewire is on its way out. USB, stick with USB. It'll be around for at least another 10 or 15 years. Another digital cable that you may run into is something that looks like this. It's 5-pin. It's MIDI, and it plugs in to a device. You either have MIDI in or out or through, right? And it just plugs in like so, right? And this sends note information to like your device, or note information from your device. It can send clock, it can send a bunch of things. And they went ahead and made the same thing with these. So when you hear a MIDI controller or like a MIDI keyboard, they accept USB, because USB will still send the same amount of data because it's still digital. It's very flexible, right? Benefits between this and this is, you know, this is like 30 years old. And yeah, I don't know. It's a hassle to get working, and it only supports like 16 channels or whatever. This right here, this is USB powered, so this transmits power. This does not. This still sends the exact same MIDI. This can send and receive audio. It can do a lot of really funky stuff. Way more flexible with the right drivers. That's why sound cards run on these. Sound cards send and receive audio, send and receive MIDI, send and receive all sorts of fun stuff. All right, I think that's it for digital, I hope. Yeah, that's it for digital. This webcam sends stuff, information digitally. The microphone I'm talking into is a digital mic AT2020, and generally that's what we're looking at here. So we're going to get into the analog world now. There's two different kinds of cables in the analog world. There's two important. There's instrument cables, and then there's guitar cables. And they're not one and the same, even though they look the same. Here, let me get it for you. Right, oops. This is a thick, beefy guitar cable, and this is an instrument cable. They have different impedances. They look the same. They're both mono, but they're very much different. You do not want to have this running in an instrument, and you do not want to have this running into a guitar. You get hum and buzz and all that fun stuff, and it's not too good. So this is an instrument cable, and you can tell by its rating and what it says in the package and its size. And this is a guitar cable for an electric guitar or an acoustic guitar, anything with a pickup. All right, so those are the two things you'll run into. Very important. You have mono and stereo 1/4 inch, right? So this, as you can tell, you probably guess, it sends mono information. So you get 2 of these into your synthesizer, left or right. I mean, just mono. Mono and well, positive and negative, right? So this is ground, this is the actual signal. This is ground, left and right. So this is stereo. So this is what you plug in to your headphones to hook up to like your hi-fi system or whatever. Bigger surface area, better connection. That's the theory. So these are the 2 things you'll run into. So if you're hooking up like a synthesizer, you'll need 2 of these, left and right. If you're hooking up your headphones, you just need 1 of these or something that looks like that. All right, cool. Let's see here. Another thing you'll run into, maybe, if you're using older years, phono jacks. These are phono jacks. Right is red, I believe, and then white is left. So left and right. They're both analog, so they both can be converted into each other, right? So we can convert these with this adapter into something mono, or we can get one that converts to stereo. If you see these, just pick them up. Doesn't matter what they are. They're very useful. Analog is very flexible, but you generally shouldn't be doing that. It's really fun. You can also do all sorts of fun stuff like convert RCA to headphone just by getting an adapter like this. You can find them on Amazon or eBay. Very useful, right? So what we're doing is we can convert a 1/4 inch. If I can figure out what I'm doing, we can convert. Someone's probably going to yell at me for doing this, but this is just a theory, right? We can convert 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch through RCA and do all that silly stuff. All right, so a whole lot of things, and we can even like grab one of these and just like extend it and then add more fun things, and then just like Frankenstein it together. It's really hilarious what you can do, and I sometimes do this when I can't sleep. No. All right, so there's that. Another thing you'll run into is, well, you might run into this. This is a 1/4 inch, a dual 1/4 inch. I use these to record videos. They're very useful. And yeah, these are also analog. So if there's analog, you can convert analog to like other analogs to create other connections in a tight spot. With digital, it's very difficult to convert a digital signal to get like an adapter for, all that fun stuff. So these are the basic kind of connections that you'll run into. Here's the connector. So when you're looking at a piece of gear, or you're interested in buying a piece of gear, you'll notice, oh, okay, well, there's MIDI in and out. There's USB, which would be USB in and out. There's line in and line out, RCA or phono. Very cool. And everything can be connected. This is a synthesizer I'm attempting to build. This just has a single audio out, and it makes weird sounds, and it scares the cats. All right, I'll just show you. Oh, you can see what the actual like inside of an RCA, or not an RCA, a 1/4 inch connector is. It's just 2 connectors here, right? And it kind of slides in. Very nice. Oh, I didn't even show you that. Yeah. Okay. And like other MIDI devices, like this UC33, right? USB, so that'd be USB power in, out, power on and off, and then the DC in, right? So everything has like a standard that it connects with. I don't have a Thunderbolt, or not a Thunderbolt, I forget what it's called. It's too new to even mention, but it's like a Thunderbolt kind of connector. Yeah, I think it is called Thunderbolt, not DisplayPort. Or DisplayPort is Thunderbolt. I'm not sure. One of those things. There's that, and that's going to be, it might be the new Firewire, but it is digital, but you have the ability to daisy chain devices, so you can have like one device, instead of having one device connected to your computer, like all these connected to the computer, one at a time through each port, you can have machine going into push, going into bass, going into the virus and then into the computer. So it offers daisy chaining just because it has such a large bandwidth, and it can do all sorts of fun things. That might be the future, and that might be something that we can all appreciate. But right now, we're sticking with USB. All right, hope you learned stuff, and yeah, take care. If you see these at like Value Village or whatever, just get them. They probably just give them away. They're very useful. They'll get you out of a tight spot, depending on what you do. Yeah, all right. Take care and have a good one.